Me and my baby going side by side, side by side, side by side. Girl, you know that I be loving you in my afterlife, afterlife. Baby, let me be the sky to you, bring it light to you, let your eyes shine through. If I'm going on the side,
Come on, you're not gonna let me. You're a fake and a fraud.
I look at eyes for a long time, but you press rewind, but you press rewind. You're in my mind, I want to resign, I want to resign. I know it's right, and I can't decide. Better trust my eyes, I shine at night. They don't like a lie, you feel like you lie. Can't sleep, I walk on my side, keep my life by my side. Baby, whatever the situation is, I'll be there. Baby, by your side.
One and all, welcome. I'm Nick Muniz. This is Nick's Nonfiction. Today on the show, we have got the mystery method. They call me Side Dick Nick for a reason. My dick is on my hip. Today we learned a trick or two from a sensei in pull, Mystery. The book reveals the Casanova body count. And your host, Daddy Niche, the Heisman of Hymens, I'm going method for method with Mystery. This guy, Mystery, invented peacocking. You wear an article of clothing to talk to women. I invented mewing in 2022. I've been popularizing jaw exercises for years. I am a mewing megalodon.
Holy crap!
What's the best pickup line at a gay bar? May I push your stool in? New York Times says, one of the most admired men in the world of seduction teaches average guys how to approach, attract, and begin intimate relationships with beautiful women. Teaching young men to talk to girls. This should be essential reading. They're reading Romeo and Juliet? No wonder everyone's gay. I'm not gay! Forget romance. Today we're talking about betting girls with ease. At a gay bar, that's called aiding and abetting. About the author, Mystery. He's a mystery, no real backstory. Mystery developed his unique method over years of observing social dynamics and interacting with women in clubs, learning how to overcome the guard shield that many used to deflect come-ons. You're going from AFC, average frustrated chump, to boss today. My penis was in the Guinness Book of World Records, and then the librarian asked me to take it out. Chapter 1. The Mystery Method. Dream Team. Just a little foreplay. Neil and Mystery are going sergeant. Hey man, that's how it always begins. Hey man. And then one of us will say something like, I'm tired. I don't feel like going out today. Neither do I. That's how it always begins. Feet, minds, hearts dragging. That's never how it ends. We'll just go get some food. Okay, just a quick bite. Shut up. Playful punch to the arm. Oh, just kiss each other already. Pull into the parking lot. It's sushi night. Two women walk past, probably college students. We try not to notice, but the smell of peach-scented moisturizer lingers in the air after them. Start floating after them like Goofy. It's too much for us. It sends us over the edge. A smile creeps over his lips. Color rises to his cheeks. His eyes begin to glitter mischievously. Is this my set or yours? Let's go. They disappear into a Chinese restaurant. Oh well, they're gone. Let's go get some sushi. This is even better. Now they're not moving targets. Okay, fine. I'll do this quickly. For you. I'll be there in a few to wing you, alright? Just hold in there. One of us begins the slow, reluctant, weary trudge into the Chinese restaurant. He pretends as if he's walking to the bathroom, and then suddenly pivots as if he's starting to pass the table with the girls. Deep breath, smile, head turns back over the shoulders. Now it's time to toss a casual, offhanded question their way. The woman responds with middling interest, as to be expected. It's part of the game. The next part is to pretend to leave, pretend to make an afterthought or a small comment or observation. They take the bait. They always do. Now it's time to hook them with the personality we've carefully cultivated, with the illusions we've spent months refining. Good. Did some lighthearted hookup stories with Tucker Max a couple weeks ago. This is about methods of pull. Alright, grow up. It's time to pull women. Hooked. they're hooked. Not like fish, but like new friends. This is the moment. This is what the game is all about. This is the high you get when these two complete strangers who've you just approached don't want you to go. There you go. The turbulence is down. Now the wingman can fly up for a smooth approach. You're in. You're in. It's that easy, boys. This is what we do. This is what we must do. We are not just men. We are Venusian artists. This is our calling. The sweet-smelling beings are bored. They need adventure. They need our sparkling personalities and pre-scripted value demonstrations and comfort-building routines that last-minute resistant stories. They need our secret orgasm techniques. We need their feminine energy. It's our gasoline. This is life. This is living. This is what we put on earth for, making these two girls laugh. It's music from heaven, and learning to make that music is what this book is about. In the old days, we would have invited them for a night out with us or at least have followed up and called them, but now we're too busy. Our lives are already in full intrigue. Let's go Sigma mode. Every day, he wrapped his head around the puzzle of a femboy's cock. He talks about Eric Clapton a little bit. Sometimes I think Eric Clapton's overrated, but mystery's not. Not yet. Mystery will be one day when pickup becomes the new workout and pumping emotions is the new pumping iron. I'm telling you. They got the kids reading Romeo and Juliet. You need to be reading The Mystery Method. Chapter 2. The Method. So now we know pickup is a skill. You can work on it. It requires obsessive attention to social interaction. Social dynamics. Nature will unapologetically weed out your genes. You gotta make action. Do I have your attention, alright? Your balls are gonna never exist anymore. If you want to be a billionaire, you need a plan. Well, what if you want to have beautiful women, the kind you see in magazine spreads and music videos on your arm and in your bed? In that case, the mystery method is a proven game plan to create a lifestyle fulfilled with unlimited choices. Yeah, you could get lucky going with the dream team, but solo pickup requires technique. Technique! Technique! The method. We got to go back further. Who started the game? Our boy, Casanova. He was born in Venice, Italy in 1725, and he died in 1798. Numbers that are less important than these. By his own account, over those 73 years, Casanova, 27 years. Casanova enjoyed erotic liaison with 122 women. Real talk is 2024. That's not even going to get you on the leaderboards.
This is a certified hood classic.
Come on, dude. In the world of dating apps, your run-of-the-mill boy toy has a higher body count than fuckboy Casanova. Real talk, Casanova's old news, boy. We're in the game is developing in front of our eyes. May the Venusian arts enrich your life, not define it. Casanova with his fancy language. You need to pump those numbers up, boy. Casanova, get behind the niche. But Casanova didn't seduce indiscriminately. He set his sights high and took to bed only the woman whose value made them worthy of pickup. These were the perfect 10s and near 10s of his day. Yeah, well, a 10 back in 1500 is a 3 now. Not only were the Venusian arts the arts of love excluded from your curriculum, but they're probably the only disciplined teachers that try to cram in your brain and pass from your childhood through adolescence and then into adulthood. Let's face it, when you studied algebra in school, the only numbers you really cared about were the measurements of girls in their tight sweaters and the digits you needed to get on her phone. Here's the big 3 concepts of attraction. As I teach courtship, the process of building attraction and comfort will probably transpire over several venues, say a bar, a restaurant, en route to a final venue, which will likely be your bed. That won't happen, however, until you create arousal. Attraction at first, you gotta attract, and then you create comfort, and then you create arousal. Know what I'm saying here? It's a 3-step method. Attract, comfort, arouse. ACA. 1, 2, 3. You got to start looks maxing. Okay? Hit the gym. Start mewing. 0 exceptions. Bro, if you wear some tighter clothes, you look more fit, even if you're fat. Okay? Size down your clothes. Extra smalls. A girl, she could go from a 3 to a 7 with makeup, okay? If you got a unibrow, shave it off. Attract, comfort, arouse. Honestly, you don't even need comfort. Girls like to feel unsafe. So that's a pro. Just attract and arouse. That's what the mystery method does. What it is an advanced algorithm, 13 years in the making. I created it through years of trial and error, because I had to. Once I learned how to, I also discovered empirically that in public setting, girls of beauty are seldom, if ever, alone. So then I had to get good at opening an entire group, and so on until my system for seducing women became comprehensive. Literally, if you have to go up to a girl to start a set and go, "One and all, welcome," you just opened to a group of girls. Use my opener. Attract, comfort, arouse. If you follow the mystery method as outlined in this book, you literally should be able to seduce any woman you meet, no matter how attractive she is, no matter how far out of reach she seems, within 4 to 10 hours, with the average seduction occurring within 7 hours. All right, we're going to get into how many hours it takes to talk to a chick later. 7 hours! You be balls deep. The turning point for me came in my late teens when I traveled to Florida to perform a magic show on a cruise ship. Before I could even get scheduled on the ship, I found myself making more money performing intimate and interactive illusions in restaurants and lounges. In fact, I did so well in restaurants that I never bothered to make it on board. More important, the experience taught me a series of essential concepts. For example, in that setting, you shouldn't just walk up to a table of strangers and say, "Hi, would you like to see some magic?" The easiest thing for someone to say in that situation is no. So I had to come up with a series of techniques. Technique! Chapter 3, Rewiring Her Attraction Circuit. Logic and reason can be used to determine a course of action, but often men and women are motivated and persuaded by emotions. Often we simply use our intellects to rationalize the emotional actions after the fact. Girls, get ready for this. You fucking listening? Girls want dick. Don't get in their way. They're rationalizing themselves into the deck. Can't stop them. It's a cardinal rule. Don't try to convince her. She doesn't need to be convinced. Well, logically, nothing can go wrong. If we get pregnant, then there's plan B. Madame, evolutionarily speaking, the risk is not incurred. Girls don't need logic. They need emotion.
Metro Boomin, make it boom.
We got a banger quote. The Venusian artist uses emotional stimulation instead of rational discourse. As long as it feels right, your romantic interest will invert his own reasoning for the happening. In other words, a woman will come up with 1,000 reasons that she shouldn't have sex with you, but she'll also come up with 1,000 reasons for why she should.
I'm on that good cushion alcohol.
This is high-level shit, boys, okay? You can't just be enlisted. This is officer rank material. This is adept level shit in pull. You are going to rewire a woman's attraction circuit. She will die in your arms. Don't try to convince her. She wants to die. She wants a dick. As a negotiation tactic, people, they become susceptible to persuasion when they're in heightened emotional states. So, pickup artists, take a girl to a scary movie, an amusement park, take her on your motorcycle. Heightened emotional states makes people more easily persuaded. Time for some peacock theory. Just as a long, cumbersome appendage on the end of a male bird is costly evidence of a survival ability, a person is said to peacock when he or she wears attention-getting clothes. This prompts others to interact with him and her. If you peacock, a girl will look at you more often, while other low-value guys will make sniggering comments. Nate Hager's here. Sniggering comments. This means that you will be more social presser than usual, but you can use this to your advantage. The key is that people must see your personality as congruent with your peacocked image. A man with a top hat and feather boa and a woman on each arm, surrounded by laughing friends, is the man. Everyone in the room will notice him. Women will whisper that they want to be introduced. But the same man in a feather boa and top hat sitting alone in the corner will look like a social reject. Peacock hard, but don't be in the corner with your goddamn feather boa and your knee-high socks. For example, if you're talking to a woman and she senses the conversation winding down, she may suddenly say, "Oh, that's a cool necklace. See, this is her way of continuing the interaction for a perfectly reasonable way while reserving some element of plausible deniability. Peacocking, it gives the woman the ability to rationalize those emotions, remember? It's the women we're talking about. They got bird brains. Subscribe. Oh my god, that guy in an ass kit is hitting on me. Oh my god, he's totally hitting on me with that scarf. Could go either way. There's 1,000 reasons for yes and no. It's a new concept here, the ASD. This is some new stuff, okay? ASD. Women have a powerful interruption mechanism known as the anti-slut defense. Me and the boys in the intel community have been studying this, but the enemies are developing their anti-slut defense, okay, fellas? Not only do women prefer to avoid having others perceive them as sluts, but they also want to avoid the discomfort of feeling like a slut. So a woman's highly calibrated ASD circuit acts as an interruption mechanism to help her avoid this fate. Beware of others in proximity, as their presence alone may influence the behavior of the woman. They are on the Skynet anti-slut defense system, acting like a tower defense to shoot down any coming invaders. Late night texts. If her friend sees her phone light up, slut, 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 you're done. You're shot out of the sky. Here we get another common defense mechanism. 9 times out of 10, when a woman says, I have a boyfriend, what this translates to is you are just telegraphing too much interest. It has nothing to do with whether she actually has a boyfriend. In fact, if she is attracted to you, she will deliberately hide the boyfriend until after you have had sex. Whether she mentions him or not, no way proves that he actually exists. This is huge. Boys, this is quantum pull. This is Schrodinger's boyfriend. The boyfriend both does and does not exist.
My name is Walter Hartwell White.
I'm your physics pole teacher right now. Take out your fucking notebook, okay? Quantum pull. The boyfriend does not exist. You know how many times I've woken up with a girl and then at 7 a.m. she has a boyfriend? Well, what happened to him? Was it the observation principle? Checks. These boyfriends are interdimensional. Another mystery method. He's on the wall of fame for this one. The neg. Running contrary to everything you've believed about attracting beautiful women your entire life. In order for you to be permitted in the audience of a beautiful woman to attempt to attract her, you must first disqualify yourself from being considered a potential suitor. If you don't do that, she will assume by approaching alone that you are after her. And if you are after her, she knows that you perceive her as having a higher value. Negging. Be a negger. Make subtle yet negative statements that put your target off and question her own value, increasing yours by a relative basis. This is a special section demonstrating her value to then pick up hired guns. These chicks, these exotic dancers, bartenders, go-go dancers, fucking hostesses, they're pumped up all day. Gotta knock them down a couple pegs.
Somebody once told me.
World's gonna show you, Missy. Chapter 4. Game time. The game is not played on a computer or the internet. It is not played in a book. It is played in the real world with real people in real situations. Only through repeated practice in the field can we develop intuition and skill. Over time, these methods become habitual. One of these methods are internalized over a few weeks of practice and in fact become easier and easier. Get in rank, soldier. You will be shot down by the ASD. Anti-slut defense is no joke. Here's a couple newbie missions for you, alright? Go out glamping for 4 nights a week. They call it sarging. They have a couple. Go out and hit on chicks 4 nights a week. Make an average of 3 approaches per hour. This schedule allows a good 20 minutes per approach. This adds 12 approaches per night, which at 48 a week approaches 200 per month. Within a year, you will have approached 2,000 women. Now we're getting towards Casanova numbers.
Smoke weed every day.
After the first week or two in the field, approach starts to become a blur. Patterns emerge over time. Formerly puzzling social behavior becomes more clearly into focus. Repetition makes the master. Women, they're socially savvy because they get more practice. You know, this isn't a mystery. This is mastery.
What the Sigma?
I might be dropping it too high on you today, bro. For a man to be in the game, he must actively approach women. If he stops doing this, he has taken himself out of the game. A woman cannot take herself out of the game. If she attracts men, they will not stop. Calibration is a never-ending process for any Venusian artist, even a master. For example, as a social experiment, one time I bought a large fake cigar out to the club. For good measure, I gave several of my friends one as well. We were all together holding these big fake cigars. This created the imagery that we were all socially aligned and raised our value. A woman came up to me out of the blue and said, "Why do you have a fake cigar?" I was stunned. I didn't have an answer. I replied, "I don't know, because it's fun." I felt foolish about the response, so I thought, there it is, this invisible thread hanging off of this prop. If I bring it out, of course it's someone going to be asked. Why didn't I prepare?
We can go gut for gut. Fuck that, we can go wrist for wrist.
These chicks, they want to go riz for riz. Turn around, bend them over, make the knees touch their elbows. In the game of chess, it is impossible to win in only 4 moves. It is possible. This gambit is called Fool's Mate. Winning with speed via Fool's Mate does not, however, make you a chess champion. If anything, it demonstrates your opponent's inexperience. An experienced chess player will not even attempt a fast Fool's Mate because its opponent doesn't take the bait. He himself is left vulnerable. Similarly, when it is possible to seduce with speed, it is much less possible on a woman who is socially experienced. In the Venusian arts, we refer metaphorically to this seduction as the Fool's Mate. Pump the brakes a little bit, okay?
Let's go gambling.
First night in Vegas, you're already, I need a hooker. Take it easy. There's girls on bachelor parties there.
Hey, I'm on vacation.
You're in Vegas. You cannot begin seduction until you end the comfort stage. You cannot do that until you build sufficient comfort. Attract, comfort, arouse. Sometimes it's not possible to escalate. Perhaps some outside factor requires you to exchange. Her goddamn dog is kicking at your door. A Venusian artist with tight game approaches a set of people in a bar using an indirect opener. He continues to convey his personality using stories, patterns, games, routines, palm reading, poetry, learn magic. Finally, he moves her into his bedroom, begins foreplay, overcomes any last-minute resistance, and has sex with her. Genius. Chapter 5, final chapter. The set. Actually, this one, I skipped that one. This was called the Wingman Coat of Arms. Rule number 1. He who opens the set leads the set. He who gets first choice of target may open the set. You can't be crossing set lines, okay? You're going to get shot down 2 for 1. Rule number 2. Make your primary purpose as wing to help the pickup artist get his target. If you can also game up your own target through the group, fine, but that is not the first priority. First guy's got to call the set. There's got to be one priority there. It's not an orgy, all right? People aren't down for that.
Yummers.
Yet. Rule number 3, don't jack the set. Don't ever steal your wing's target. Sometimes the player is ignoring or negging his target while working the group. It would be really easy at this point to go in and steal her. So of course you could set this up as a double blind. Reverse open. Rule number 4, remember that if the player cannot advance in any way due to set lockout or LGBF, let's just be friends, just a general lack of IOIs, indicators of interest, the wing may then attempt to recover the set for himself. Debate who decides before you are in field. Rule number 5, as wing, occupy the obstacles so the player gets more time one-on-one with his target. Rule number 6, always agree with your wing. Never take the girl's side over his. Rule number 7, keep in mind that your wing's feelings are important to you, even more important than the girl's feelings. This is some advanced technology, all right? Keep it under wraps. While you are in the middle of actively ignoring the target by negging her, she could be unexpectedly leaving the group. To prevent this, you can lock her in using a prop. Now that you have locked her in, at some point in the future you will be able to continue interacting with her even if she temporarily wanders off. You pull on your invisible prop string. This also creates trust. By showing that you trust her with your prop, which she could steal, you also build trust. This is actually real. If you give someone your rave goggles and it always finds its way back to you. Whole lot of skin in the mosh pit. An important principle in the game is that nothing is ever a big deal. The typical chump takes out girls on a date and then hopes to get a kiss at the end of the night. He wants to show her how respectful he is. As the evening passes, he comes closer and closer to that awkward moment at the end of the night when he has to make his big move and go for a big kiss. This makes it a big deal. Women have a fantasy about meeting the right guy and about how perfect he will be, about how everything will happen naturally. So you don't want to build up this big deal for this big moment and make the kiss happen. Start sniffing some necks. Start touching some back. Similarly, if you're ready to touch her breast outside her shirt, you will gain compliance much more easily if instead just grabbing her boob. So you got to stroke your hand across her tits a little bit. Warm her up. Rev that puppy up. Touch her waist. Getting towards the end here, and he has, mystery 7-day schematic. This was good stuff. Page 203, figure 14.1. Boys, this is the cutting edge on the battlefield. The 7-day schematic. Don't assume. All right, this is how long should it take to pull mystery? The 7-hour mark, he's saying, but phone calls don't count. Average, it takes 7 hours of getting to know someone. Don't assume that every phone call will occur for the purpose of setting up a meet. It is just to show that your phone call counts. Bro, phone calls count. It doesn't have to be in person for 7 hours. He talks about safe sex a little bit. I'll skip that. To use a sports analogy, an all-star athlete didn't get that way overnight. He spent years in an empty gym throwing footballs, kicking soccer balls, running laps, hitting on girls. Through endless repetition, he calibrates his game in an incredibly sophisticated degree. But no matter how many times you score in the game of pickup, what's most amazing is that you learn about yourself along the way. As you remove obstacles in the field, you'll find it much easier to surmount obstacles in everyday aspects of your life, including professional, financial, anything, you name it. Let me put it this way. If I'm able to disarm 2 or 3 obstacles and pick up a completely unapproachable supermodel in a club, you think I'm going to be fazed when buying property or dealing with a difficult person in a transaction? Not even. Conclusion: go forth and conquer. Having read this book, you are armed with some of the best information, strategies, tactics, knowledge in the Venusian arts community. I feel privileged to have shared it with you. Game on!